All right, YouTube fam. Camera battery's about to die, so I'm gonna go through 4 things that have kept me lean through the past, couple of years. They've really kept me lean, and it makes it easy to be lean. So you need to be making sure you're doing these 4 fucking habits. All right. If you don't do these habits, you're cooked. Basically, is what I'm saying. All right. This is the bare minimum habits. So number 1 is gonna be strength training. The reason I say strength training is because when you have more muscle mass, you're gonna be burning more fat at rest. A lot of you guys don't believe this because you have no fucking muscle mass. Once you have muscle mass, you'll realize you burn more fat at rest. Right. So if you have a cheat day when you have muscle mass, it's not as bad as you have a cheat day if you're just a blob, like fucking Peter from Family Guy. Right. That's number 1. Right, and also, if you have 2 people who are both 6'1", 200, right, one of them is 30% body fat, one of them is 10% body fat. The one that's 10% body fat will be burning more calories at rest. It just is what it is, all right? Simple shit. They have more muscle mass. All right, that's number 1. Number 2 is going to be more awareness, more hyper awareness regarding nutrition. This is why I recommend, when you first start off on your journey, that you're counting your calories, but also, besides counting your calories, you're also making sure that you weigh your foods just so you have a better idea of exactly how much you're consuming. Because generally when people say, I'm not eating that much, but I'm gaining weight, the reality is you're not aware of how much you're eating because you've never tracked before. All right. You don't know how much butter you're using, how much oil you're using, and you don't know how much rice you ate. You think you ate a cup of rice, you ate 10 cups. Like, it's just that simple. When you go to restaurants, you're like, yeah, I probably didn't eat that much. I had an appetizer and, small piece of dessert and entree. It's probably 2,000 calories, right? The entrees, like the tortilla chips, they're fried, so they're like 1,000 calories. And then, the entree, you probably got like burgers and fries, it's another 1,100 calories. And then you had a small piece of a cookie cake, right? Just a small piece, that's another 400 calories. So you just ate 2,500 calories at, a restaurant, and you're wondering why you're gaining weight. You need more awareness regarding nutrition, all right? You need more awareness, because then you'll realize your protein intake is too low and your carb and fat intake is too high. And the foods that you pick will change too. You'll gear more towards whole foods, right? Number 3 is, of course, eating high protein and eating more whole foods, right? The more whole foods you eat, the better off you'll be. Now, one of the biggest things when it comes to whole foods, a lot of us have sugar addictions. I had sugar addictions as well. Let me tell you how to get over it. You replace processed sugars with healthy sugars, right? With non-processed sugars. Like right now in my fridge, what do I have? If I have a sweet tooth, what do I have? I got berries, I got strawberries, blueberries, I got bananas, not in the fridge, I got bananas out here. And then I got yogurt, and I got like protein shakes and shit, right? All of that's gonna help with my sweet tooth. And then eating higher protein is gonna keep me more full as well. So food volume in general, that's why I always talk about the volume method. Volume is very, very important, because when you feel full all the time, obviously you're not gonna binge, it's gonna be harder to binge. So you need to make sure that you're eating higher protein, more whole foods. More whole foods will have more fiber, which will fill you up longer, and more vitamins and nutrients, which will make sure that, you're not deficient in everything. Very, very important, all right? So make sure that you're eating high protein, and you're eating more whole foods. All right, stay away from that processed shit. The more processed shit you eat, the more processed shit you'll crave. Straight up. Like if I have Oreos and I have candy in my crib, I'm eating that shit. It's just happening. I cannot prevent that shit. If I look at it every day, I'm gonna eat eventually, because it's in sight, in mind. It has to be out of sight, out of mind. Simple. Number 4 is dropping the instant gratification mindset. Drop that mindset. All right. That's not how fitness works, because a lot of us, right, when you want to be lean, you're probably 40% body fat at your starting point, 30% body fat. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to lock in for this is going to be the first 2 weeks of my life where I lock in. I want to see major results. It's like you could only lose maximum maybe 4 to 5% body fat in 2 weeks, like maximum, best case scenario, right? Realistically, you'll probably lose like 1 to 2. Let's just be honest, because it's your first 2 weeks. So it's like you expecting to go from like 30% body fat to like 15 in like, 1 week, 1 month. That's where the issue comes in. You got to realize that this is a long-term solution. Just like it took you a long time to be a big motherfucker, right? Gain all that fat. It's going to take a while for you to lose that fat. All right. So look at it more as a long-term thing and focus on doing everything in the present moment to make sure that your future is where you want it to be. All right. Don't fixate so much on the weight, on the scale and all that shit. Just focus on your habits. When you surround yourself with whole foods and you binge, what are you going to be eating? Overeating like almonds. You're going to be full of shit because almonds are so filling. So it's like, oh, let me overeat. You ate some Skinny Pop and some almonds. You went over by 300, but you're full now. That's not bad. Versus if you had Oreos in there, you could eat a whole family size and then a whole thing of chips. It's like 2,000 calories. You see what I'm saying? And then 2 bonus ones is going to be, number 1 is going to be environment, of course. Like a lot of you guys, especially on TikTok Live. I go live every day, 6 p.m., right, or 7 p.m. Eastern, somewhere around that time. Make sure you guys tap in. Link will be in the description. But the thing is, with TikTok, like I know a lot of the young niggas, they've never been around healthy people. Like they're the fittest person in their environment. So they're like, well, you're on steroids, or your client results are fake, or there's no way you can look like that. It's like, bro, if any of you guys play football, lacrosse, baseball in high school, there's people with better physiques than me right now in high school, bro, just walking around. It's just normal shit. That's what happens when you work out consistently. It just is what it is, right? But people don't realize that because they've been surrounded by unhealthy people for their whole life, and they're 30% body fat, and the leanest person they see on a daily basis is themselves, which is where the issue lies. It's like, dude, you got to change your environment. And if you're like 20% body fat, and like you're like, hey, I'm gonna get on my journey, and your friends are like, no, you look fine. We all want to look like you. Get the fuck out of that friend zone. I mean, that friend group, because they're cooked. Because in any friend group, 20% body fat should not be the leanest person in any friend group, right? You all got to be locked in. When everyone in your friend group is like 15% body fat, consistent in the gym, you feel me? Like, you know, working on their purpose, accidentally getting bitches, because that's just a side effect of all that stuff, body game. Then it's like, of course it's going to happen. Of course you're going to get lean too, because you're seeing their habits. Like, I didn't get to the next level, like past that 15% body fat range until, you know, I hung out with my homeboy, saw how he was locked in and his standards were high as shit. His standards were up here. And it was like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm trying to do this. It's like, no, this is bare minimum type shit. Like, his standards were high. So I was like, okay, I got to lock in too, because this motherfucker's locked in, right? So that really helped me as well. And then last but not least, well, probably least, honestly, is going to be, you know, upping your activity level. So if you get like 2,000 steps a day, you work from home, you know, I've had clients who work from home and they're gaining a lot of fat. So I was like, you know what, get a stand-up desk, and you could walk 30 minutes, you know, every 3 hours or whatever. So that'll add like 4,000 steps to your overall daily. Nothing crazy, you know, 3,000 to 4,000 steps to your overall daily. That's nothing crazy, but that adds up over time, right? That compound effect is going to add up over time. So I'm not saying do 10K steps a day, do 15K, do 20K. That's pretty intense. You can literally get like 5K. If you get 2K steps at your beginning of your journey, and you get 5K steps, you know, you incorporate 5K steps, you'll lose a lot of fat, simply, right? But going for walks and things like that can help with mindset. Me personally, my step average is what I'm working on. That's like probably my worst thing. But yeah, I've actually been actively working on it. Like, it's up to 5 to 8K now, right? It's always been like 2,000. Like, even I had some 10,000K walking days, but the average for the year has always been like 2,000. But that just goes to show how powerful nutrition and high intensity in the gym is. It's the most important thing. All right, so if you're getting 20,000 steps a day and you're not losing fat, your nutrition is shit. I don't care what you say, it's shit, because it's just, where's the weight gonna go? Like, where's the weight gonna go? So you're staying the same weight and you're getting 20,000 steps, it means you're eating like shit. Very simple shit. All right, hope this helped. These are habits you need to stay lean. Let's lock in.